In this world, they're heroes.
I feel the pain in my city wherever I go.
And they're villains. Heroes don't kill people.
Well, I do.
I was saying, before we get into the Thor one, I do see at the top Black Adam. You guys want to run that one real quick?
I don't think I've watched it yet. I saw some clips, but I actually didn't sit and watch it.
I'll send you the link that we have because it has like the official trailer stuff. So I'm gonna send Ken this link, and you can go ahead and run it, Pat, because you already had shared your video.
Throw it in the Discord.
All right, here we go.
Black Adam.
Okay, well now I just hear the one you're sharing.
That's fine.
Did you want to hear your own?
No, it's okay. I stopped the other one. It threw me off because I'm like, I was hearing it and then it started playing again.
Sorry, I shared correctly. It's a problem. So.
Yeah, you're okay.
Wait, is it Steve Rogers?
Nothing but heartache.
He actually really is.
I was a slave until I died.
He was a scorpion.
Then I was reborn a god. My son sacrificed his life to save me.
Over fire!
Now, I kneel before no one.
War going on outside when you ain't safe from.
In this world, they're heroes.
I feel the pain in my city wherever I go.
And they're villains.
I'm excited for whatever section this is.
Don't
This looks like it's gonna be pretty cool.
Well, I do. My vision has shown me the future. You have two
My
choices.
strange vision.
You can be the destroyer of this world, or you can be its savior. That's up to you.
Behind you!
Did he just catch a rocket?
He got a rocket.
All black everything, you know my fresh coat.
See, I had a lot of fond memories for the song. I was like, oh, this is gonna be cool. The more I watch that trailer, though, I have tons of questions. I don't know, maybe Ken can answer some of these.
I would say
Where are
for
the elf ears?
there is that. It's Kareem or not Kareem. I think Ken Dixon's a bigger Black Adam fan than I am. Because
Okay.
Dixon likes villains because he's like Thanos, Black
Yeah,
Adam.
I like villains too, but
But see, that's the thing is I
I
don't
like better
I'm-
villains.
give me like because they're like, oh, it's an anti-hero. I'm like, that's just a villain. Like that's just the
Yeah.
antithesis of a hero is a villain. So you at least say
Mhm.
like dark hero. I don't know. But then you have people like, oh well, Black
But,
Panther's a
but
dark
he's a
hero.
villain though, right? He's not an anti-hero.
He's initially he was the villain. He was the counterpart to Captain Marvel / Shazam, which for the rest of this podcast, let's go ahead and say Shazam.
Shazam!
We don't freak out the
Get
normies.
sued by Marvel.
Well, let's just not freak out the normies. Let's just make it easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
We just don't want
The-
the chastity saying, screw Brie Larson for no reason.
Exactly. I mean, they're still going to, but at least this gives them less ammo.
Yeah.
He started out as more of just the villain, just a straightforward like I'm the evil version of you, but then over time, a lot, especially within probably the 90s up to the 2000s, he became more of an anti-hero of like, oh, I'm doing the right thing I'm doing the wrong thing for the right reasons, stuff like that.
And again, obviously you know more than I do. I always envision him, because I didn't get too deep into him, as like the DC version of Doctor Doom, the guy who kind of ran his own country, did a lot of evil things prior to that.
There's
Wants to be left alone for the most part.
There's parallels there, yeah. I mean, I can see
and
even another a similar corollary could be Namor as well.
Yeah.
Same.
I feel like
same
Namor
kind of,
does more good than Black Adam had.
who are you asking? Are you, by the way, like?
Well, I feel like Namor doesn't like to be fucked with, and when you mess with him, that's when he's upset. Like if he just left the water alone, he'd be like, all right, you know what, we're cool. I feel like Black Adam went out of his way to like fuck with people.
I guess probably the same amount
Same
as
as Dr.
Doctor Doom.
Doom.
Yeah, the same amount as Doctor Doom. He'd
Okay.
find himself at odds with people of more often than Namor would. But also maybe it's because, yeah. I guess mainly just because the way it's written. That's the better statement of just however they're going to write him this week. By the way, I was surprised by like the like one thing I had saw, like, so I saw a clip of it where they were talking about essentially the Iron Man 1 scene of him flying between the two jets.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, well, you see the difference here is that he in Iron Man, he actually ends up, he's messing around, but he does try to save the dude. Whereas this guy, he's just gonna break that plane. What's up now? I'm like, yeah, that's fine. And then also they have the weird moment, very Black Panther, where like they're showing them fly over. He's like, all right, let me just jump out. I'm like, you just stole that? Like Ryan Coogler should be like, guys, can we
It
talk about this?
feels like a greatest hits.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
I didn't see anything interesting in there that felt new. It felt like a Rock movie melded with like a Marvel, really more Marvel superhero film with like a splash of like anti-hero DC stuff.
Yeah, and for me, I mean, maybe it's because of the way I like to see The Rock and like my take on his performances. I like him as more of like the he, like I've said before that I think he would have done a better job playing Shazam from his roles that I've enjoyed more than say like the Scorpion King, which is kind of an anti-hero.
Also not good.
Yeah,
And Scorpion King was a villain, wasn't he? Oh,
That's-
well, I guess the original.
well, yeah. So the
whatever.
first version when it's the Scorpion, he's like,
the shitty CGI.
yeah, and then there's the movie where he's Scorpion King, but he's kind of like, I'm a hard luck hero kind of guy. It's
down on
that-
my luck. You killed my brother.
Yeah, exactly. And so I'm not in love with the kind of like, I'm going to be the dark and brooding Rock. Like I got that. I shouldn't say Dwayne Johnson, because I enjoyed Dwayne Johnson more than I guess I like The Rock, because I wasn't a big wrestling guy. And so, but The Rock had that persona of which does fit with Black Adam. I feel was
Well,
The Rock
interestingly
versus
enough,
Dwayne Johnson.
I was going to say, yeah, I was, because I was a fan of wrestling in The Rock. I would have presumed that they would have paired The Rock's persona with Black Adam, because Black Adam does monologue. As far as I've read in comics and stuff, it's like he talks, like that's one of his things. And so this dark, brooding version of him, this Dwayne Johnson version, I'm like The Rock, that was what made him probably one of the top wrestlers. It wasn't his wrestling ability. Like he was, I would say a B level wrestler as far as like, moves and physicality is concerned.
Talking
the
about
fact that he
does an elbow
the
drop.
fact-
It's fucking sweet.
Oh no! And here it comes! Don't tell me! I think we're at. Oh, there go the sunglasses! The people's sunglasses! It's the most electrifying move in sports entertainment today! Oh, the people's oh! An exclamation point!
Well, I was gonna say the fact that he could like, talk his way through anything.
Yeah.
And like, he was witty and he, the banter back and forth between Triple H and the Nation and stuff like that. That's what I thought people were going to see. Like you can just see a monologue and you'd be like, dude, that was awesome for 5 minutes. And you would never have actually done anything.
But I think I don't know what the movie's about outside of like a 20-minute origin and then Dr. Fate. I saw the future. So
Well, that was my other question. And maybe Ken can answer this for me. But
Yeah,
maybe
Ken.
it's just the way that the trailer was cut. Everything out in that trailer at the very, like the first minute and a half or first minute seemed like it didn't make any sense and it was out of order. It talked about like how he died a slave and then rose a god and his son sacrificed himself. But when they showed him and his son, they were like back in the past.
Yeah, I don't know what
I'm like, what did you sacrifice if you sacrificed and your dad still died?
Yeah, I don't know the take on this. There is
And
the
they like
story.
they de-sized him.
Yeah, because there's also the story of him later on where he marries Isis but then they lose her brother Osiris, and that's more of like the New 52 era, if I remember correctly. I thinking someone can correct me, and of course, Andy Thompson, if you're there, you read New 52, feel free to hit me up. Dixon, we know you're already typing, so just start a second comment. Try to address it in several different comics. It helps to kind of clarify per question.
I'm gonna need you to cite your evidence, by the way. I'm gonna need issue numbers. Like, come on, guys.
Yeah.
And it also looked like he lost his arm when they were like kicking him into whatever slave pit he was getting kicked into. And I'm like, well, if he died,
Little 300-ish. Little 300-ish too.
There's a lot to make them a god later.
Yeah, a lot of the kind of, it feels like a lot of like, oh, like you said, greatest hits. Like, let's just take all this really cool stuff, which is kind of DC's thing of like, well, we haven't put in the time. Let's just try and crib notes. Let me just copy off you and just add all the good stuff. Like, I don't know.
You would hope that because this is like The Rock's passion project. This is like Ryan Reynolds with Deadpool. So you would hope he'd have a deeper understanding of the character and really fight to make a good film. But the first trailer, it just felt so generic. And does this take place in like this universe with Superman and Shazam? Because they're gonna show up.
Well,
Shazam's not, but Superman will. Should.
Yeah.
I mean, Shazam should.
Yeah.
Why would Shazam give a shit?
Because
he's too busy drinking Slurpees and making shitty jokes.
No, but because it may have been a deleted scene, but it's just because I still haven't seen Shazam for listeners. But there's a scene or deleted scene within the movie where all of the Marvel family are at their throne rooms, and there's one more spot that's open, and they're like, "Hey, who's that one for? We don't know." Black Adam. Like that's the.
Guys, there's 6 of us and there's 7 thrones. Who's that for?
I'm loving it.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I think my question was more to the fact that, like, even if they ask that question, like, why would they seek him out? He doesn't come from the orphanage like they do. Like, they already have their family. It's just an empty seat to them.
But it's an empty seat, so it's like, what does that mean? Like, what if, because some of them are far more dedicated to some of them aren't just like we blowing stuff up. Some of them are like, well, what does this mean? Like Mary Marvel in particular is far more academic about it, and I don't know the other characters well enough, but I think that one of them or a few of them might be like, well, yeah, you don't care, Billy, but we're kind of curious, where does this power go? And if the Wizard Shazam isn't willing to tell us, why not? Like, what's going on with them? They could be far more investigative, which gives us, opportunities for a story. But then again, I don't think they're going to cover that in this because they've already filled it out with the JSA, which is the Dr. Fate, the Hawkman. And I think the side of the van said like Shira Electronics, which is Shira Hall.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then so we've got, and I know we've seen, and here's the thing too, because we do have information from besides just trailers, I've seen the Funko Pop for Atom Smasher. And so we do know that there are
the Ant-Man guy.
Yeah, he looks like Ant-Man. That's true. Or, well,
yeah, they showed him running in the trailer.
Yeah, I mean he shrinks, but he usually gets bigger. He's more of a giant man.
What I'm saying, he was giant man in the trailer.
Yeah,
I mean,
so
this is part of the issue with the DC's running into is that Marvel beat them to the punch on so much of this. Like, oh, that'd be cool. Well, they got a guy that does that. Oh, that's less cool now. Okay.
I mean, that's the thing though. But they still choose not to take the time to fill that out too. Like DC's like, no, let's do Joker 2, which doesn't connect to anything. In fact, many people questions why we even need to do Joker 1, but okay, let's do a second one because we just want to make more money, whether it's good or bad. Like, so question for Kareem, you're more of the Sony fan. Did Morbius make money?
No.
Okay, so it lost money.
Why did you insult him like that?
I'm sorry. No. We've had multiple discussions of him and his
disgusting.
I'm fairly certain that his name is, Kareem Sony Anderson, and he's like he's trying to cash in on that Sony fortune.
Ken hates the fact that there's someone who's speaking on behalf of the accountants at Sony.
Yeah,
but the fans,
they all got fired after Morbius, if that helps.
Yeah.
Well, did they? Because some of them said, "Hey, let's put this back in theaters."
They got fired after the re-release.
You mean when they got tricked by a
thin ice? Yeah, they were on thin ice when the movie came out.
Yeah,
then they fell on their swords for the re-release.
So, guys, I know you didn't believe us, but look at this. Look at the internet. It's Morbin Time is currently trending.
Yeah.
Let's get this back in theaters.
Yeah,
I love that
the time is right.
the petition got more signatures the second time around. People were just like, yeah, no, we swear we're going to be around this weekend.
Yeah, could we do it again with a petition? I'll sign it. I'll sign it right
You
now.
know, I was out of town that time, but I
Yeah.
swear I'll be around this
Yeah,
time.
this
Come on.
time.
Come on,
I'm
Sony.
your guy. I'm gonna show up. Just
Come get this
spend a
football.
lot of money on it. Spend so much money you have to sell Spider-Man back to Marvel.
No, that's according to Kareem, that can't happen because Sony's too good. They're too good for that. But
They
I
are
do
right
understand.
now.
I do understand that financially Venom made money, so we are going to make a Venom 2. And in the discussion with previous podcast guest Andy Thompson, he was like, "Oh no, Venom 2, Venom 2 is a lot of fun." And like I got a discussion, I'm like, "Wait, you know what? I just realized you said fun, not good. So I don't need to fight you on this because fun is fun. Good is also
Different conversation entirely.
different conversation, but it's fun. That's fine. I watch fun movies that are not good, but they are fun. So that's
Yeah, apparently Morbius was neither.
yeah, that's that's what I've heard. Haven't experienced it myself. Knock on wood. I don't know if I'll catch it like you do COVID. I
I'm
don't
gonna
know
watch
how
it
that
just
works.
so I have some knowledge about it, but I don't. I mean, I'm not gonna go out of my way to watch it. Like if it shows up somewhere.
I think the way you contain Morbius is by keeping it in theaters, because then no one will see it. The moment you let it out of theaters is when it'll spread.
Once it hits streaming is when people will be like,
yeah,
"Oh, no."
and like I got nothing else to watch. Fuck.
My Netflix account got locked out, but they still gave me access to Morbius.
Yeah, it's weird. It's like the only thing I can watch now.
That's how they bait people back to getting the trial subscription. You want to watch Morbius for free?
If Netflix is smart and somehow can get Sony to buy in, that's an amazing thing. Yeah, you're locked out. We stopped, but you can still watch Morbius. Go ahead. You can still watch that. It's fine.
It's like it's like that limited television they put in prisons where it's like, okay, you only have these few options. This is all you can watch.
They're gonna talk with Samsung and they just have it downloaded on each phone that they sell.
Oh God, yes, like the U2 album.
Yeah, exactly. Come on, Apple can do it. We can do it.
Every Sony Bio laptop comes with a digital copy
All
of Morbius.
37 of them.
We took all the wrong lessons.
Like the Morbius is selling out the roof.
Every PlayStation 5, part of the boot up is you have to watch Morbius. It's literally part of the boot up. It knows if you're not. It will stop installation if you turn away.
The camera like tracks your eye movement.
Yeah.
If you have like your phone just off camera, it's like nope, pause. You're like, no, just finish installing.
I think. I mean, to your point, Ken. Though I think that the Morbius thing is also the same situation where I have a Black Adam, where like these guys need their quote unquote foils in order to derive some sympathy, a little empathy towards the character. Like without Spider-Man, without Morbius showing up in a Spider-Man movie as an introduction, and then we can go into like why he's the way he is, why he attacks, stuff like that. You build empathy for him at that point. When you try to start off with this like, I don't know, sad origin story for a character who's mostly known as a villain, I don't think it works that well. And the same things I think is gonna happen for Black Adam. Like if him and Shazam got into it, and then we see a Black Adam movie where we're like, this is how he got that. This is why he's doing that. I think viewers would be like, oh, okay, well that makes more sense.
But that makes sense as like, oh, I'm building an expanded universe. Well, that's how you expand the universe. Black Panther, you got the teaser in Captain America Civil War, which got everybody hyped for Black Panther. Even the teaser for Captain Marvel, little thing at the end of Infinity War. Like, yeah, that's the point. That allows you to expand. You don't just like, oh, here's Black Adam. What's happening? What's going on?
Not even like just here's Black Adam. Do the Black Adam movie, but then have him like throw in some of the Shazam, the Captain Marvel family, so that you have like, oh, well, at least we got to see them there. But
I
instead,
believe they're sorry.
I was just saying, instead you're doing the JSA, which a lot of people are going to need an introduction to. If you're going from the mindset that this is the first time these people, the normies are getting to know who Dr. Fate is, then you're introducing you're just throwing everything at the screen. Like at least you had established characters who are connected, then throw a couple of them and they're trying to figure out who the eighth member or whatever it is, and be like, oh, they are the one who unearthed him and set him free. And he's like, I need to do this. And they're like two of them who are on this hunt or whatever. And then they end up, the JSA is like, what did you do? And give me some kind of like some entry point to this. Cause right now you're just like, well, you like The Rock, so there's your entry point. Give us your money.
Basically.
Couple things.
Mm-hmm.
First off, I believe they're called Shazammers now instead of the Captain Marvel family. Shazammers. Second, sounds
You
like
just
somebody's
made
been
that up.
listening to a lot of Chris Fleming because you keep saying normies.
Oh yeah, well, because so I've said that before, but also like my brain always goes back to Ghostbusters 2, where he's like they're like
Oh.
they're throwing the mood slime all around. It's like guys, you're scaring the straights.
Gentlemen, will you leave this restaurant?
This is illegal. Just a second. Boys, you're scaring the straights, okay? Is there any way we can do this tomorrow?
But that has a different connotation nowadays. So
Yes.
I switched over to normies, but I don't who's I
Oh, no,
don't know
it still works. It still works, Ken. Just go.
are
with it.
we but okay, but also am I now inadvertently plugging a podcast? Like am I don't want to plug a Rogan. Am I plugging a Rogan somehow?
No. He's a stand-up comedian. He's very funny.
Okay, got
Chris
it.
Fleming. Yeah, no, you're fine. You're fine.
Okay.
Yeah,
So yes,
Shazammers is the proper terminology.
is okay.
You
Quick
just
question:
made that up, and no one
Is
should
that
follow you.
legit? Is that is
No.
this straight from Tumblr?
Just because
I-
Pat says stuff with the
No, these are
straight face
they're
doesn't
the
make it
Shazam
so.
Zams.
I mean,
Shamwows?
he's a white male, aged 25 to 43.
You have to break the cycle, Ken. Break the cycle.
No, listen to what I say. It's definitely true at all times.
It's not true at all.
Shamwows.
All right,